In the year 2024, a great catastrophe struck, transforming the world into a hellscape overrun with monsters. The chosen SSS rank, who fought to the death as a tool of the organization, suddenly awoke in the body of a child and discovered he had traveled back in time to 2020. Armed with memories of the future and a chance to start anew, Kai must once again confront his destiny. It all began as Kai battled a horde of monsters. By then, he had already dispatched the 32nd beast in a grotesque world teeming with creatures. Only those who had surpassed human limits could stand against them. And Kai, our protagonist, was one such individual, a chosen SSS rank candidate. After slaying the 33rd monster, a colossal beast suddenly emerged from nowhere. Kai knew nothing about it. The intel must have been wrong. Furious, he gripped the iron collar around his neck, seething at the organization's agent who had assured him there were only 33 monsters. On the other side, a sharply dressed man, the master, merely smirked, excusing himself by saying he was not on the battlefield, so some information might be faulty. Before Kai could process this, a teammate's warning cry rang out. He turned, only to find the massive monster looming right before him. Unprepared and blindsided, Kai was struck down instantly. He collapsed in a pool of blood, his body unresponsive. As they say, the organization's dogs have no freedom. His lifeless eyes stared ahead, yearning for a day when he could live freely. When he opened his eyes again, the battlefield was gone, replaced by a scene of toys scattered around. Raising a chubby hand, Kai thought he had failed and become a monster himself. Only then did he realize he was in the body of a toddler, barely able to walk. A pair of feet approached, and Kai froze, fearing it was someone from the organization. But instead, a gentle hand reached out to hold his. It was a young woman with colorful hair, his new mother in this reborn life. Bewildered, Kai could not make sense of what was happening. The woman, wearing an apron, hummed cheerfully as she cooked in the kitchen. Watching her, Kai grew even more confused about his existence. A TV blared in the background, showing no signs of monsters. Lost in thought, Kai realized he had been reincarnated, or so he thought, into a world where the catastrophe had not yet struck, a world free from the organization's grip. A faint smile curved his lips as the thrill of freedom surged within him. This day, he vowed, would mark a new beginning. But his hope shattered when he glimpsed a calendar, October 31, 2020. Kai stiffened. He had not been reincarnated. He had merely traveled back 4 years before the great catastrophe. Defeated by his tiny, frail body, he reignited his resolve. He would make this work. He tried to stand, but fell. Realizing he needed something to hold onto, he tried to speak, only to find his throat incapable of forming words. Sweat beaded on his brow. He was utterly helpless. His gaze shifted to the woman, his supposed mother. He decided he would have to rely on her, or at least use her. She might prove useful. But his hopes crumbled further when he noticed her lack of any notable skills. From agility to dexterity, even cooking, she was utterly incompetent. It drove Kai to the brink of madness. After fumbling in the kitchen, she brought him a bottle of milk with her worn-out body. To Kai, it felt like the apocalypse had already arrived. Doubt gnawed at him about his future. Then, a deliveryman's call interrupted. The woman responded eagerly but paused, realizing she had not grabbed money. As she turned to fetch it, Kai's mind raced. Meeting people meant the risk of infection. The door creaked open, accompanied by an eerie deliveryman's voice. Kai's instincts screamed something was wrong. As he feared, the deliveryman was infected, transformed into a monster. Compared to it, Kai's tiny body was no more than a speck of dust. Desperate, his eyes darted to the milk bottle and a pillow nearby. He threw the pillow to the floor as the monster lunged at him. With surprising agility, Kai dodged its attack. Landing on the pillow, he would prepared. A single touch from the creature could kill him. But his combat experience from his past life kicked in. The monstrous deliveryman charged again, its dangerous tentacles writhing. Thinking quickly, Kai rolled the milk bottle toward it. As predicted, the creature stepped on it, slipped, and careened out of the house through a glass door. Kai grinned triumphantly, amazed that he owed his survival to such a pathetic situation. But then, a blue tail sprouted from behind him. It stretched forward, snatching a yellow object from the defeated monster's corpse. Before Kai's astonished eyes, the tail devoured it. Kai grabbed the tail and examined it, his eyes widening in shock. He could not believe it. This was his power from his previous life, the gluttonous tail. His mind spun like a tangled web. Why did he still have this ability after being reborn? In his past life, the great catastrophe struck 4 years from now, and he was not even born until 3 years later. Grinding his teeth, Kai could not fathom what was happening. But as he recalled his former self, he quietly marveled at his luck. He had gained this power after absorbing the core of a monster with a gluttonous tail. Excitement surged through him as he wrapped the monster's core tightly. Perfect. Closing his eyes with a sly grin, he swung his arm, instantly shattering the leg of the crib beside him. The younger one awakens their power, the stronger they become. In his past life, he awakened at Shi rank by age 7, but this time, he was certain he would reach the legendary SSS rank. The thought made him chuckle with glee. He daydreamed of being surrounded by adoring, beautiful girls. Crawling on the floor, Kai sighed. If that is the case, there is no need to stay here. Farewell. But his face suddenly paled. And he collapsed. The crib's loose screws gave way. And it began to topple toward him. Panic set in. This was bad. Just then, the mother of his infant body rushed to his side in a frenzy. Memories of his past life flooded back. The master's mocking sneer, telling him he would have to eat dog food to survive. Back then, Kai was battered, forced to endure humiliating taunts as the organization's dog. Even now, reborn, that anger still burned. Damn it, I am not a dog. When he opened his eyes, he was wrapped in warm, soft blankets. He must have passed out. Beside him sat the toddler's mother. Mother, the word felt foreign. He glanced behind him. The gluttonous tail had retracted into faint red and black threads. Why had he fainted? Was the power too much for this body? It had only been 30 seconds, fury surged again. Damn it, I need to get stronger. His attention shifted to the woman. She looked sorrowful, tears streaming as she blamed herself. Why was she crying? Kai noticed a diary nearby, filled with milestones of the toddler's life, as if marking precious moments. A treasure, me. A shirt slipped off her shoulder, revealing a purple bruise. Kai recognized it instantly. She got that protecting him. In his past life, his mother had sold him to the organization without hesitation. Hesitantly, he reached out with his tiny hands and touched her back. She stopped crying, her face lighting up as she hugged him tightly, overflowing with joy. Kai, however, was not thrilled. I am different from her. I will stay here for now, but not for long. This world would change in less than a week. At that moment, atop a building, the next monster, a janitor beginning its transformation, oozed green slime onto the ground. Kai's face paled, but he forced himself to stay calm. Think of a plan. Just then, his mother called out to him, holding something wrapped in red cloth. Guess what this is? She unveiled a cute, golden puppy. The neighbors gave it to me. What do you think? Kai froze. He recognized it instantly. The ferocious dog from his past life. Can't believe I am meeting you again. The puppy looked adorable and obedient now, but playing with kids, it was way too big. Her brain must be wired wrong. Then, an idea sparked, and a sly grin spread across his face. If trained well, this dog could be a powerful ally or even a mount. Not bad, he muttered, envisioning the dog obeying his commands. A big dog could be useful. His mother beamed, delighted by his smile. Look at him grin, he must love it. She headed to the kitchen to cook, leaving Kai with the puppy. Step 1, feed it. With a villainous smirk, he tossed it a sausage. Eat this, and I will be your master. The puppy tilted its head, looking adorably clueless. Does it even understand? But it gobbled the sausage. Good boy. Kai stepped on its head, striking a commanding pose. I will train you well. Suddenly, the puppy's demeanor shifted. Its eyes glowed red, and with a thunderous bark, it knocked Kai flat, leaving 2 massive paw prints on him. The dog huffed and turned away, sulking. Furious, Kai scrambled up and lunged at it, shouting. What the hell was that? Baby and dog brawled chaotically. Yet his mother, oblivious, smiled warmly. Look at them playing so well already. She paused, sighing. Oh no, we are out of flour. As Kai wrestled the dog, he froze, glancing outside. A massive water monster had appeared behind his mother, unnoticed. She rummaged for flour, completely unaware. Kai's mother frantically rummaged through the cabinet. It is supposed to be here. The puppy, abandoning Kai, lunged toward her with a ferocious bark, its front paws pushing against her to warn of danger. The shove sent her tumbling into the cabinet. Hey, what is that about? She yelped. The dog kept barking relentlessly. Kai frowned, eyeing the water monster. It was weak but troublesome, its liquid form rendered slashes and stabs useless. His mother clutched her head while the dog clashed with the creature. I just bumped into it, Kai muttered, watching in shock as the monster's liquid enveloped the dog, absorbing it. Damn, it is changing shape. He knew its weakness, dehydration. His eyes darted to his unopened milk bottle. Anything I can use. Kai popped the lid and hurled it at the water monster. The bottle spun, scattering powdered milk into its liquid body. Instantly, the creature warped, sprouting spikes, before shrinking into a small, round form. Kai watched it flail around the room. As expected, losing moisture disorients it. Grabbing an empty basin, he trapped the creature inside and sighed in relief. Got it. Smirking smugly, he glanced at the other two, who were clueless about what had just happened. His mother finally climbed out of the cabinet, clinging to a bowl of flour, while she and the dog coughed, covered in dust. Kai stared, wondering how he would survive with these two bumbling companions. Great, more clumsy idiots. His mother stood, grumbling, oblivious to the monster that had just invaded their home. Why am I so unlucky? Time for a bath. Kai, however, saw opportunity. Capturing that slime was a rare stroke of luck. Known as a slim, it could be used to craft antidotes or coat windows as a shatterproof layer. Suddenly, the water monster broke free from its makeshift prison. What the? Kai fell flat on his back. The creature made a break for it. Damn it, it is escaping. Just then, the dog charged forward, growling fiercely as it faced the monster. The two locked eyes in a tense standoff. But the water monster glanced aside and slipped away, darting out the window with a mocking, friendly wave of its tendril. It came and left on its own terms. Kai and the dog seethed, weak but cocky. The door swung open, and Kai, riding on the dog's back, was determined. No way you are getting away. Despite its ferocity, the dog obeyed, sprinting after the creature. How can a pest-repellent slime move so fast? They reached a courtyard alley where the water monster loomed ahead. I need to throw sand or mud at it, something to dry it out. A passing girl suddenly froze as green slime dripped onto her head. Looking up, she screamed at the expanding mass, poised to engulf her. At that moment, Kai charged forward, a mark glowing on his back. Damn it, using my power might be too much for this body. But if that monster parasitized her, this place would become a bloodbath. With that thought, Kai urged the dog to run faster. I have seen enough of these scenes in my past life. He grabbed an umbrella and blocked the monster just before it could reach the girl. The creature darted away from the umbrella. Kai calculated if he could use his power briefly, he might manage. The water monster zigzagged chaotically, but Kai unleashed his strength, throwing a steel-hard punch. I will end this now. Slime fragments from the monster splattered to the ground. Kai wondered if he would make it in time. The girl, still terrified, crouched on the ground, staring at him. Did she even see me? Then she scrambled to her feet and bolted. Well, that is understandable. Kai sighed. What a mess to clean up. At that moment, his tail reappeared, startling him. Both powers at once. Could this child's body absorb two abilities simultaneously? In his past life, each new power he absorbed replaced the old one. He glanced at the monster's liquid residue on his hand. This is insane, it is fusing both powers. In his previous life, he would always limited power changes to avoid the organization's scrutiny, which ultimately led to his downfall. But why is the Teoti tail evolving now? His eyes widened. I get it, it is my age. The younger one adapts, the stronger the power. He would qualified as an awakener at 10. But most children younger than him died, unable to withstand the monster's toxic aura. Grinning wickedly, Kai realized he now outstripped even the most promising young candidates. His growth potential was immeasurable. The dog suddenly stopped, snapping him out of his thoughts. Are we there? Kai leapt off, landing lightly. Raising both hands, he conjured a small ring of green liquid, forming a barrier at the house's gate. Slumping to the ground, he sighed, this is bad, I am out of energy. Sweat beaded on his brow. Forget advanced powers, his basic stamina was pitiful in this body. Defeated, he lay sprawled on the ground, staring blankly. If this keeps up, I hope no monsters come near. The dog glared at him, clearly unimpressed. What is that look? It grabbed his shirt with its teeth and hoisted him up. You are not planning to eat me, are you? At home, his mother, freshly bathed and looking better. Surprise flashed across her face. followed by a bright smile. The dog had carried Kai back and was now curled around him, drooling in its sleep. Too heavy, he thought. Time passed. While the drool continued to flow down the dog's face, Kai quietly crawled outside with the blue slime. All right, I have coated the windows, vents, and drains. Sitting on the ground, he mused, now, even if the catastrophe hits, this house will stay safe for a while. Examining his two active powers, he finally understood the Teoti tail's current state. Looks like I can store up to 4 abilities. He frowned, but I can only use 2, and each activation lasts about 30 seconds. Crossing his arms, he carefully planned for the looming catastrophe. The only thing missing, supplies. Kai's eyes widened. The greatest cause of casualties in disasters was not monsters, it was famine from broken supply chains, sparking violent resource conflicts. Stockpiling enough could prevent clashes and even make others submit to him. Looking around, he thought, I need to prepare now. Supermarkets and crowded places would soon be monster-infested. One infected person, and it will spread like rats. His face paled. With this body, he could not face a horde. Tugging at his hair, he racked his brain. Are there other ways to get supplies? Then he noticed his mother's phone, buzzing on the counter. Who is this? His tiny hands deftly swiped through it. No lock, he opened the neighborhood chat group. They were discussing a recent virus. Becoming a true keyboard warrior, Kai created a new account and typed, a catastrophe is coming. Stockpile essentials now, chaos is near. Follow my instructions, and you will be safe. But no one took him seriously, which infuriated him. Damn it, these idiots. Collapsing onto the table, he groaned. If this continues, the organization will collapse before everyone dies. Suddenly, a friend request popped up on the phone. Kai accepted it instantly. Who is this? The name was Hot. The message read, looking for supplies, I want to trade. Kai's eyes narrowed. Hot, why does that sound familiar? A chill ran through him. No way, Hot from the organization. On the other side, in a room filled with computer screens, a girl named Hot stared at her phone, a thrilled grin spreading across her face. Things are about to get interesting. Hot munched on ice cream while reading Kai's messages. Tell me your plan first. She snorted, wow, grinning like she would hit the jackpot. She typed, here's my offer, I will give you all the supplies you want. Around her, the room was packed with cardboard boxes, food, drinks, armor, everything. With a sly smirk, she added, but information comes at a price. I will sell it to you for 100 million yen. Her room was chilled to 16 degrees Celsius by an air conditioner. But meeting you, Kai, transporting these supplies is a hassle for me. Kai replied, if you promise me 20% of the goods, I will share my info. How's that? Staring at her messages, he could not help but marvel. That tone, the absurd 100 million yen price tag, the childish haggling, no doubt, it is Hot. The two went back and forth. Why should I trust you? Want to verify it yourself? What if I do not agree to negotiate? Are you hostile? I just want peace. Where's the meeting point? I left the info in a mailbox. The one at your apartment complex. Hot grinned, satisfied. The organization had not been formed yet, and Hot was not supposed to be a leader. But that woman knew how to manipulate information and toy with people's minds, dangerously so. Once you caught her eye, she would use every trick to exploit you. Kai, meanwhile, flashed a cunning smile. Peace, she is just dangling information as bait to reel me in. This time, he would be the one stirring things up. The sky was clear, dotted with clouds. Glancing at a clock, Kai realized he would nap for 2 hours. Crossing his arms resolutely, he thought, my stamina's probably recovered. Time to grab that info. He crawled toward the stairs. The elevator has cameras, so I will take the stairs. After a few steps, he was drenched in sweat. This body can't climb. His eyes flicked to the sleeping dog. Fine. Crawling over. He yanked its tail. Wake up. The dog shot him a disdainful glance. Then whipped its tail, smacking Kai's face. This mutt thinks I have tamed it a little. Clutching his stinging cheek, Kai spotted a box of food. I can bribe it with this. Opening the box, he smeared some food on his tiny hand. The dog sniffed eagerly, then spun 180 degrees. Resting its paw on Kai's hand like a deal sealer. What a greedy mutt. Kai climbed onto its back. Hurry up, before his mother woke. He scanned the surroundings. He spotted the mailbox but noticed cameras nearby. That sly Hot is trying to ID me with those. If he used his powers to bypass them, his info would be sold instantly. But Hot would not touch people she did not know. Kai smirked. I will outsmart her. Closing his eyes, he sensed the area. 1, 2, 3 cameras set up by her, plus the complex's surveillance. He grinned triumphantly. Think you can expose me with that? Meanwhile, Hot watched her screens eagerly, waiting to see her prey. A message from Kai popped up. I got the info, Kai messaged. She froze, stunned. What? Furious, she checked the footage. Only the dog was visible. Kai had used it to block his figure, exploiting a camera blind spot. Slipping a note into the dog's collar to hide his phone. He would outmaneuvered her. Hot's phone buzzed with Kai's taunt. Send me 100 million yen, and I will tell you who I am. Infuriated, she hurled her phone aside. Don't mess with me, or I will crush you. Crazed, she activated something. Your turn to hunt the whole building. A spider-shaped device emerged, worth 30 million yen, equipped with a camera, dust and water resistance, low-temperature endurance, anti-magnetic properties, high-speed movement, and electric attacks. It scuttled toward Kai and the dog. Just then, a foot crushed it. Hot screamed, watching her 30 million yen gadget reduced to scrap. It was Kai's mother, who approached him, asking, What are you doing, sweetie? Kai's face went pale with dread. Hot sat on her swivel chair, hugging her knees, eyes glistening with tears. My spider. A sudden voice crackled through. What are you doing, kid? Her face lit up. That spider had a comms function too. Grabbing her earpiece, she snapped, Who is this? You can talk. Frowning in frustration, she continued, Don't think you can mess with me with some cheap trick. I heard your voice. When the other side stayed quiet, she threatened, I could leak all your messages and embarrassing past online, you know. Still no response. Losing patience, she shouted, Say something. Finally, a teasing voice replied, Dressed so lightly, careful, you will catch a cold. Hot forced a laugh, gripping the earpiece to suppress her irritation. You are not even listening. Moments later, she angrily flipped a switch. Damn it, her brows furrowed, teeth grinding. I can't figure out who this guy is. Who the hell are you? Meanwhile, Kai's mother sighed, her gaze tinged with reproach. Kai, dear, it is dangerous out here. She glanced down at the broken spider, which buzzed with static. Input and output both functional. Feasibility, 46%. It muttered, I will give you the info for free. Take the supplies too. Kai cautiously observed his mother. She is giving up so easily, that is suspicious. Moments later, she appeared by the railing. From behind, Kai watched her silently. That girl thinks it is just a stray dog opening doors, but I know better. He sighed helplessly. His mother, thinking he would dozed off and wandered out, did not notice him shift his gaze. Can't use the dog anymore. He looked at it with pity. Don't worry, I will come back to save you later. Memories flashed through his mind. Hot had mentioned a warehouse-style supermarket opening soon. She is passing me stolen goods from someone else's stash. Closing his eyes in thought, Kai mused, for Hot, that is generous. If he wanted to stockpile essentials, he needed to act fast. His gaze landed on a table cluttered with items and a flyer he would left. She has not noticed it yet. I need to do something. But he could not just announce the apocalypse. At that moment, his mother walked in, catching his dreamy expression. She turned gently, reminding him, we only have enough milk powder for this year. Kai grinned slyly. Here's my chance. Soon, empty milk cans littered the floor. His mother approached, smiling. Asleep already? Good thing Kai has not woken up. Her eyes shifted to a flyer on the table, her expression puzzled. A supermarket ad, a new one nearby. She read closely. I should check it out when I have time. Kai smirked from the side. Success. Not long after, she pushed a stroller down the street. Looking up with a sigh. Such nice weather. Kai, however, scowled. Hey, dressing your son like this, not cool. But his mother just smiled, radiating happiness. Meanwhile, the dog, tasked with guarding the house, trailed behind Kai. The stroller's wheels rolled steadily along the street. Suddenly, a panicked guard shouted, Wait, he eyed Kai's mother, confused. What are you doing out here? There is a spreading disease, stay indoors. She lowered her voice, explaining, I need to buy more milk powder for my son. The guard snapped, Don't cause trouble for the government. Kai glanced at him. Government, it is about to collapse. The guard waved them off urgently. I am just passing on orders. Go home. He lowered his voice. Wait until things settle before coming out. A piercing screech cut through the air. A massive monster appeared, coiling around the guard. His body was hoisted into the air. Blood spraying everywhere. Kai and his mother froze, horrified. The monster turned its attention to them, its mouth curling into a grin. Protein. Kai gritted his teeth, anxious. This is bad. This creature was a breeding type immensely strong with no clear weaknesses. Staring ahead, he wrestled with his thoughts. If I do not use my powers, she will die. There was no time to hesitate. As he wavered, his mother scooped him up, clutching him tightly. Hold on, Kai. He frowned. Is she trying to run? That is pointless. The monster blocked their path. Far faster than any human. In that critical moment, Kai's eyes locked onto a fire extinguisher in the corner. A bold plan sparked in his mind. If I break it. A spark shot toward the extinguisher. A deafening explosion followed, smoke billowing. As it cleared, the monster stood unscathed. But then it noticed something odd. Kai launched from above, slamming a powerful kick into its body. Silently observing its movements, he calculated in an instant. When the dust settles about 30 seconds. Closing his eyes briefly, he locked onto the monster. In those 30 seconds, I will finish it. Kai glanced at his mother, unconscious on the ground. The question is, can I finish this before she wakes up? He recalled the moment before she would fainted from shock, but time was running out. His eyes locked onto the monster. This time evolving breed typically had a core in its head. One hit to the head, and it is done. The monster turned toward him, its heavy steps shaking the ground as it advanced. Kai stared up at its massive form, unscathed despite his earlier attack. Gritting his teeth, he vowed, one more strike, and I will end it. The monster opened its maw, revealing razor-sharp teeth. Its fists clenched as it fixed its gaze on Kai. He realized there were no shortcuts this time. Tracking its lightning-fast movements, he braced himself. Here it comes. The monster charged. Kai surged forward, pouring all his strength into the move. Spider-like threads from his hands wrapped around the creature, coiling tightly. It let out a piercing, enraged roar. The force pushed Kai back. But he looked up, his eyes blazing. Studying the monster's wound, he cursed, damn it, I missed by a bit. A confident smirk crept onto his face. But I will be the one winning. His thoughts were cut short as he darted toward it. The monster countered instantly. But Kai's small frame dodged with ease. Seizing its moment of distraction, he used his threads to bind it. Blood sprayed from its arm as Kai calmly analyzed its movements. It is too big to hit a kid accurately. Dodging its attacks, he noticed it was not using its full strength yet. His breathing steadied, eyes sharp with caution. It is like chasing a rat. After a grueling exchange, the battered monster limped closer, growling. Kai stared it down, his experience from his past life proving useful even in this tiny body. A smirk tugged at his lips. You are worn out, huh, one more hit. But a sudden movement caught him off guard. The monster hurled a boulder at him. Kai leapt back, teeth grinding. What the? Scrambling to the top of a building, he cursed under his breath. If it keeps attacking like that, I can't get close. Can I ambush it? No way to distract it. Time was slipping away, and he decided retreat was his only option. Then his mother's voice rang out. Kai. He whipped around, startled. She is awake. She stood groggily, eyes wide as she took in the scene. Her gaze locked onto the monster's massive form. Her face frozen in terror. Kai watched her every move, panicking. What does she think she is doing? He screamed internally. She can't fight that thing. His mother stepped sideways cautiously, then, without hesitation, fired a taser at the monster. Give me my son back, now, she shouted furiously. Kai's jaw dropped, stunned by her actions. A taser. After a moment of shock, he regained his composure. Whatever, it is enough to distract it. The monster turned, charging at her without mercy, knocking her to the ground. Kai, airborne, glared at it. Time to clean up this trash. The creature noticed him. As he launched himself from above, delivering a powerful kick to its head. It collapsed, skull slamming into the ground. Kai rushed to his mother's side, staring at her unconscious form. If not for her, I would be done for. He had not expected her to risk her life for him. Muttering unconsciously, he said, guess I still have a lot to learn. Exhausted, he collapsed beside her. His small hand slipping into hers. Moments later, he stirred, groggy. A man carefully checked on him. You awake, kid? Kai jolted, eyes narrowing. Who is this guy? Furious, he spat water in the man's face. Get lost, you creep. Kai's mother, Lin, rushed inside. I am sorry. The man wiped his face with a cloth, forcing an awkward smile. It is fine. I must have scared the kid. A glint of curiosity flickered in his eyes. Does the boy get along with the dog? Lin nodded slightly. Yes. Kai's eyes narrowed with suspicion. Is this guy the dog's old owner? The man expressed his gratitude. Thank you for taking care of it. Lin quickly replied, it is nothing. Kai, sneaking a glance at her, sensed something off in her calm demeanor. She saw that monster earlier, so how can she act like everything's normal? Just then, droplets of water fell steadily. He looked up, noticing her wet hair. A wave of helplessness washed over him. Is she crying alone again? At that moment, the man politely announced, Lin, we are heading out to stockpile supplies. She nodded without hesitation. All right. Kai's mind raced. Stockpiling supplies. His eyes lit up as an idea struck. Working with others to gather goods is not a bad plan. Moments later, he jolted. Right, I have not grabbed the crystal from that monster. His eyes widened as he spotted a faint glow beneath the debris. Using his tendrils, he swiftly retrieved the object. Got it. Observing his body's changes, he smirked. So, that toughness has fused into my blood. He could not hold back a sly chuckle. Not bad, now I can use it as a shield. A familiar voice interrupted. What? The man whispered into his phone. You are saying they are just a burden. His tone dripped with contempt. Idiots. That is why we bring them along for emergencies. He crouched, inspecting a corpse on the ground. We could use them as bait. That is useful enough, right? Kai's face darkened. This guy's a lunatic. Who leaves a dog with a kid? The man issued a sharp order. Get another car and keep gathering supplies. A piece of glass suddenly shattered on the floor. The man spun around, alert. Who is there? Kai gritted his teeth, staring at the broken shards. Damn it, the glass. The man's tone softened. Kid. He approached, ruffling Kai's hair. How'd you get here? Calmly, he spoke into his phone again. He might have overheard, but whatever, he is just a kid. Killing him now would not matter. Kai's expression turned grim. What? This guy's completely insane. As night faded, dawn's light crept in. Lin carefully fastened Kai's seatbelt. The man announced cheerfully, all right, let us go. Kai shot him a glance. He is the driver. If I could use my powers, I would crush him right now to show who is boss. Lin's gentle voice broke in. There is some snacks too. Help yourselves. A man nodded gratefully. Thanks, Lin. Kai grew irritated. Wait, have not they seen the footage of those monsters? And they are still going out. The driver signaled quietly. We are off. A teenager responded with a gesture. And the car sped down the street. Kai leaned back, eyes heavy with fatigue. I get it now. This is a form of self-defense. He mulled it over. Even seeing monsters or corpses, not everyone accepts the world's about to end. They pretend it is normal, hiding their fear. As the car drove off, a body appeared on the ground below. Back with the group, a man named Jen spoke up. Can I have a sandwich? Lin smiled, pulling out a box. Sure, I will get it. He continued, and a hot dog too. She handed him the food. Here. Kai glared at the steaming sandwich. Jen took it, thanking her. Raising a kid alone must be tough, huh? Another man, Ryu, chimed in. I mean, you are young, pretty, and do not seem to have a job. Isn't it dangerous to be out now? Lin's tone grew heavy. I thought about staying home. She leaned back, looking tired. But lately, if I leave him alone, he gets into foolish trouble. I thought it over and decided to bring him along. Kai shot her an annoyed glance. Don't say anything else. The driver smirked. Lin's pretty useful in a fight, though. He raised an eyebrow, recalling her earlier feat. Didn't she take down that monster with a taser, and we have got the dog now. The dog was locked in the car's trunk. Lin looked embarrassed. Honestly, I do not remember what happened. Kai rubbed his temples. Useful, don't make me laugh. The driver gazed ahead casually. Anyway, there is probably no monsters around here. His face suddenly twisted in horror. A woman was running toward them. A spark flared in the air, followed by a hand lunging at her. A swarm of grotesque insects surged toward her. And she screamed in terror. The group in the car stared, frozen, as she faced imminent danger. The driver sharply spun the steering wheel, shouting urgently, "Hold on tight." He slammed the gas pedal, swerving the car in a desperate U-turn. The vehicle sped through the chaos as a pickup truck tailed them closely. The dog barked frantically. Outside, the girl was completely overwhelmed, screaming, "Help me." Inside, Lin was drenched in sweat. Kai swallowed hard. God, today's a total mess. His eyes darted around. We are surrounded. Moments later, the car screeched to a stop near a building. Kai carefully assessed the situation. That insect head and those stingers. It is definitely a bioengineered controller. He calculated silently. These parasitic controller monsters turn humans into puppets. Individually, they are weak, but in a swarm, it is a different story. Under the dim light, Kai sat panting, sweat beading on his face. A thought hit him like a thunderbolt. They keep multiplying. I need to get out now. At another angle, the driver's eyes burned with tension, a curse escaping his lips. Damn it, we are really surrounded. He backed away in panic. They are closing in too fast. Forget the car, the windows won't hold them. Kai glanced around quietly. No, it is possible. If he could not drive them off, he would not be able to act. Narrowing his eyes, he weighed every precious second. I can only use my power for 30 seconds. Wasting it here means I am done. The driver scanned the car suspiciously. Is there really no one here who can fight? In that moment, Ryu could not hold back and peeked outside. A scream shattered the stifling silence. Help, she cried, panicking. What are you all waiting for? Save her. Kai's brows furrowed in frustration. What? He shot Ryu an annoyed glance. We are supposed to save someone out there. Puffing his cheeks, he muttered to himself, she is just a burden. A bold idea struck him. Why not leave her behind? Minoru waved off the suggestion. No, it is too late. Closing his eyes, he spoke in a low voice. She is already wounded. He whispered, just like those monsters with marks on their necks. Kai's sharp gaze swept over Minoru. This guy's got keen eyes. He is old, not fit for fighting, but maybe useful for carrying stuff. The driver spoke up, his voice tense but impatient. Are we charging in or what? He turned, glaring coldly. If we are going in, we need to take out the monsters before we are all wiped out. Kai's suspicion grew. Is this guy planning to kill us all? He stared at the driver, thinking, he is useless when it counts, and the guy in the back's probably no better. Just then, Jen shouted shakily, I will go. Kai shot him a skeptical look. He looks weak, but what if he snaps? Jen yelled louder, I will take them out, I am not scared. Kai assessed him instantly. Nope, this guy's unreliable too. His face twitched. Is there no viable option? Lin suddenly spoke, cutting through his thoughts. Wait, I will grab the gun. Kai's jaw dropped. She is going. Jen's tone shifted, a forced grin spreading. So I do not have to go, right? Kai's eyes flashed with contempt. Unbelievable. Jen smiled, relieved. I am counting on you. A sharp spine suddenly pierced Jen's chest. Ryu screamed, staring at the blood gushing from his wound. His body was yanked backward, as a clawed hand gripped the car's frame. Ryu stumbled back in panic. The monster lunged at her, its claws slicing through her chest. Its gaze shifted, locking onto Lin, who tensed warily. Is that the main body? Kai cursed under his breath. Where was it hiding until now, that sneaky bastard? He inched forward, no choice but to fight. The monster attacked Lin, but as its claws grazed her, she dodged swiftly. Yet the claws came again. At that moment, Minoru intervened, grabbing the monster's arm. His cold eyes bore into it. So you are the boss of these creatures? Kai froze, stunned. What? The monster turned, slashing at Minoru. He swiftly caught its claws, snapping its joint with a decisive twist. Kai's eyes narrowed. This old man's taking it down barehanded. Minoru yanked the creature's chest, his gaze icy. Then he pushed it out of the car. Staring at the corpse, he sighed. I am really getting old. Kai watched in awe. He is insanely strong. But his expression turned tense. Glancing at the body, he thought, wait, it is not over yet. Kai tensely observed Minoru. I do not know who this old man is, but a flicker of unease stirred in him. His mind raced with calculations. Just aiming for the heart won't kill this insect controller. As he predicted, the monster began to rise. Kai's brows furrowed tightly. If I can't speak, I will have to communicate with this. He let out a piercing cry, screaming and wailing. Minoru instinctively turned. What? Instantly, the monster's claws slashed through him. Staggered by the sudden attack, he nodded grimly. When I was in the special forces, I saw something like this. An enemy that does not die from a heart strike. Kai's eyes widened in shock. He was really in the special forces. Minoru rummaged through his pocket, pulling something out. Meanwhile, the pickup truck slowed to a stop. Minoru charged the monster, his voice icy. As I thought, you do not die easily. Frowning in thought, he suddenly stomped on its head. I will just have to tear you apart. Blood sprayed from the monster's head. Kai froze, awed by Minoru's quick judgment and combat expertise. I should have realized sooner this guy's ex-military. A faint memory surfaced. In his past life, as a dog of the organization, the military had collapsed early. But he would heard rumors. After the government lost control, the military became the strongest force against the monsters and the organization's enemy. The special forces were its backbone, wielding unique combat techniques. Kai's face lit up with excitement. Now we can hit the supermarket. Lin hesitated, her voice soft. Should we just go home? Minoru pondered. If we go back, something's bound to happen. Let us keep moving. Kai watched him silently. How do I pull this guy to my side? His mind raced with options, fake military orders, use classified info from HOT to blackmail him, or stick close and force him to protect me. Minoru gently patted Kai's head, smiling warmly. Lin, stay behind me with the kid. I can help you both that way. Lin nodded shyly. Yes, I won't be a burden. Minoru clarified, don't expect too much from me, though. She bowed gratefully. Thank you for this. He shook his head. No, if the kid had not cried, I would be dead. Minoru smirked suddenly. The dumber someone is, the more they demand benefits. Kai lunged at him. Bastard, who are you calling dumb? He could not resist a jab. That attitude of yours will get you killed someday, you know. Still, he softened his gaze. I owe him this time. The sky turned a pale orange. Minoru glanced outside. The door's locked, closed today. Lin looked at the flyer, surprised. But it says it is open. A thought struck Kai. Hot's a master hacker. She might have tampered with the system to shut the supermarket down. A voice snapped them out of their thoughts. It is open. The driver waved his phone, smirking arrogantly. I had a friend unlock it. Kai's lips tightened in frustration. No way. He covertly checked Hot's messages on his phone, suspicion growing. Is this guy connected to Hot? Anger flared, but he sighed, exhaustion creeping in. This is tiring, but it is my fate. Lin looked around excitedly. It is huge. Kai, however, scanned quietly. No cameras. I do not need to worry about being exposed. His gaze landed on Minoru. Wait, the old man's carrying weapons. He marveled again. No wonder he is ex-special forces. Then he noticed something odd. Where's that crazy driver? Lin, confused, looked around. No staff, how do we pay? The driver clapped suddenly, his smile sinister. No worries. He slammed a crate. This entire stock our organization already bought it all. The dog suddenly barked furiously from the corner, its relentless yapping piercing eardrums. The driver snapped irritably, shut that noisy mutt up. He smirked, his gaze sweeping over each face. I thought breaking in would be tough, so I used all of you. But now, you are worthless. Kai froze, his eyes locking onto the man's wrist a mark. He is with the organization. Narrowing his eyes, his brows knitted tightly. The man casually declared, from now on, all supplies here belong to the Eastern Union. His voice dropped, laced with menace. No objections, got it. Especially you, old man, do not try anything stupid. Kai stood dumbfounded, barely believing his ears. Eastern Union, they are the precursors to the organization the Hunting Project enforcers. A chilling realization hit him. Before the catastrophe, they were already committing crimes, secretly stockpiling goods when they sensed trouble. A shiver ran down his spine as the pieces fell into place. That is why I have felt uneasy this whole time. The man's arrogant tone echoed a familiar enemy from his past life. Kai's lips twitched, teeth grinding. Whether he is that bastard or not, he is dead. Minoru, calm but observant, noted. We are surrounded. They played us from the start. He swiftly drew his weapon. Eastern Union, huh? Lunging forward, he raised the shovel. I need to take out the leader first. He hurled a shovel at the man, which embedded into a crate. The driver roared, you bastard, want to die? Amid the chaos, Minoru shouted, you too, run. The driver fired wildly at Minoru. A chill ran up Minoru's neck. Why's this guy so calm? The man's lips curled into a deranged grin. Minoru's brows furrowed. This is bad. The driver activated a remote device. Sensing the danger, Minoru charged. But a flash of light caught his eye. An explosion threw him back, his body battered. Struggling to rise, he faced the driver, who pressed a gun to his temple, sneering maliciously. Can't let an ex-soldier like you slip away. Move, and you are done. Before he could pull the trigger, a shout rang out. Don't move, Lin yelled, glaring. Twitch, and I shoot. She aimed her taser, furious. Why are you doing this? The driver turned calmly. Lin stood ready to fight. He smirked faintly. You serious? Her eyes narrowed, her reply sharp as a blade. Dead serious. He scoffed mockingly. If you shoot me, can you say you are completely innocent? He aimed at Minoru again. Isn't it just about sharing food, right? Laughing loudly, he taunted, you are hilarious. His voice darkened, each word clawing at Lin's resolve. Too dumb to even talk to. Don't act like you are in charge. His tone shifted abruptly. Want to know why I gave you the dog? That day I came to collect a debt, the owner was dead. He recalled that moment, glancing coldly at the body. Dead, huh, guess no one's playing today. Back in the present, he stared into Lin's eyes. I was about to brainwash the dog when I saw you. Hours earlier, he would push the cart, chuckling. Run, looks like I am your opponent today. Then Lin appeared with the dog and Kai. Spotting them, a twisted idea formed. Perfect, let her keep it. Now, he sneered with disdain. A single mom raising a kid and a huge dog. And you are still fine. Impressive. Kai, seething, clenched his fists. The driver muttered, firing a shot at the ceiling. As for the supplies, there is clearly not enough to share. A stranger suddenly shoved the door open, followed by a flood of people pouring in. Moments later, Kai's group was completely surrounded. The driver hissed, you do not know your place, weaklings like you. He let out a mocking chuckle. Pathetic, you deserve to die. Kai clenched his fists, eyes blazing with anger. Weaklings suffer, huh? A memory flashed, a man sneering, a rat like you wants to eat, how amusing. Behind the metal door, a face was sobbing in pain. Back in reality, the dog lunged at the crowd. Instantly, they aimed their guns at it. Seizing the moment, Kai struck. The room's lights sparked and died. He muttered under his breath, now's my chance. The group descended into chaos. It is too dark, turn on the lights. The driver swung his gun toward Kai. A piercing scream rang out. Don't shoot, stop. Kai did not hesitate, charging at the man and landing a solid punch to his face. He swung again, but the driver pulled the trigger. At the critical moment, Minoru kicked the man's hand, dislodging the gun. Their eyes met briefly. Minoru's skeptical expression burned into Kai's mind, sending a chill down his spine. Damn it, he saw me. His face darkened. This is bad. A thought struck him. If he is ex-military, he will think I am a monster. If they find out this kid has abnormal abilities, I will be taken for experiments. The driver's finger tightened on the trigger again. Is that kid a monster? Sensing his suspicion, Kai felt a surge of dread. Minoru turned to attack him, but Kai slipped into the darkness. Minoru scanned the area, just as I thought suspicious. He shone a flashlight toward Kai, who darted to another spot, muttering, I need to kill that light, but of all people, it is this old man. A cold resolve settled in. In this case, I will take him out first. A shrill scream snapped him back. The group turned toward the sound, their flashlights converging on a moving figure. A monster. They froze, eyes locked on the creature. What is that, Sheem? Kai spun around, catching the word. Everyone's focused on this monster now. A faint smirk curled his lips. Perfect. Red tendrils slowly extended from him, controlled with ease. Meanwhile, Minoru kept searching for Kai, turning warily. His eyes widened in shock. What the? The monster was transforming into him. Moments later, it surged toward Minoru at blinding speed. Elsewhere, the group fought desperately. Someone screamed, what is this? Get back. Minoru gritted his teeth, his expression darkening. So that is it, he assessed calmly. The monster created a clone, trouble. As Minoru focused, a piercing scream rang out. Don't come closer. Lin backed away frantically, while Kai wailed incessantly. Minoru faltered, confused. Was that kid not real earlier? Kai, meanwhile, smirked inwardly. Perfect, keep it up, and I will hide everything flawlessly. He shot Minoru an irritated glance. Old man, hurry up and help. A sudden cold, slimy sensation coiled around his arm, sending a shiver through him. Damn it, that feels gross. The clone monster began attacking Minoru, who swiftly grabbed a nearby dagger. Spinning, he slashed at the creature, but its slimy mass reformed instantly. Minoru sighed in frustration. Cutting its head is useless. It regenerates immediately. This is not some slime-type monster with a head to chop. The clone's head reattached seamlessly. Watching, Minoru shook his head. What a hassle. He tossed the shovel aside, slamming a crate to the ground. His eyes gleamed with realization. Analyzing quickly, it is a slime-like monster. Its weakness is. Kai struggled against the clone, shouting, "Stay back." Lin, equally distressed, fought to keep her ground. Minoru yelled, "Electricity and dehydration." The clone collapsed as Lin's taser struck. Kai unleashed red tendrils, swiftly wrapping the creature tightly. Minoru added, "and relentless attacks." The clone fell under Minoru's assault. He torched it with fire, staring wearily at the smoldering remains. Still here. Another clone lunged at Lin. Kai gritted his teeth, impressed. "Not bad, old man." A spark shot into the clone's head. Kai held his breath, observing. "Looks like I have covered my tracks for now." Minoru glanced at him, his chilling stare making Kai uneasy. Minoru continued battling the clones. Kai stole a look at the creature. It was still alive. His eyes darted back, spotting the driver crawling to his feet. The old man's hit did some damage. "I can't let this guy escape." The driver glared at Kai, who growled silently. "What the hell, I will kill him." But he hesitated. "If I use my powers now, my identity's exposed. What do I do?" A hand suddenly yanked Kai up, and a foot kicked a cart toward Lin. Minoru and Lin spun around. The driver roared, "I am taking the kid." He aimed his gun at the group, warning, "Drop your weapons." Kai, held in his grip, stayed silent, then smirked maliciously. "Here's my chance." The driver shouted, "Drop them, or I kill the kid." The group froze under the threat. A clone suddenly charged at the driver, who fired in panic. The creature reformed instantly. Muttering in confusion, "What is this thing?" It pulled out a grenade and yanked the pin. The room erupted in an explosion. Amid the chaos, Kai's eyes locked onto something. A level 1 crystal. As the driver fled, the crystal vanished. Kai glanced back, spotting the driver hiding behind a door, teeth grinding in fury. "Damn it, just die." A voice called out, "Boss." A teenager tilted his head. "What wrong?" Kai scanned the group. "There is more of them." The driver shed his fear, his voice low. Something unexpected happened. He barked, "Get ready. We are leaving now." The group responded in unison, "Yes." In that moment, Kai spotted a tattoo on the driver's neck. Rage surged in Kai's chest. "Lee, it is that bastard." He pictured the driver's face, masked in his past life, but the Lee mark on his neck was new. His lips twitched. "I never expected to see his face today." The driver spun around. "What are you staring at, kid?" Screams erupted from the group. Panicked, he turned to see his men writhing on the ground, covered in a web of slime. Kai glanced over. That dust, it was deadly to humans. One touch could kill instantly. Survivors would not stay human. They would twist into grotesque creatures, losing all reason and attacking the living. Eventually, they would turn on each other. The monster's eyes locked onto the driver. Then it charged. Terrified, he stumbled back. "Damn it." Grabbing Kai by the collar, he hurled him toward the beast as a decoy. Kai sneered, "Trying to make me bait, don't underestimate me." An idea sparked, "I will show him my true power." A crystal appeared in his hand, glowing blindingly. Kai unleashed magic into the void. A shadowy figure emerged, its face forming, its lower body solidifying. Moments later, Kai transformed into an adult form. "This is my real strength." His eyes blazed. "Time to go all out." The monster lunged from behind. Tendrils sprouted from Kai's body. He pursed his lips. "The crystals have fused. I can use a new technique." It felt less like wielding a tool and more like becoming one with his body. Meanwhile, the group's infected members merged into a massive creature. It shot sparks from its eyes, hunting Kai. His tendrils wove together, forming a sharp spike that pierced the creature's side. Kai could not contain his thrill. "Perfect, I control this body better now." The creature's tendrils exploded, blood splattering everywhere. A bystander recoiled in horror. The driver's eyes widened. Who the hell are you? Kai turned, wondering. He did not see me transform, did he? Stroking his throat, he glared coldly. You are next, smirking. He contrasted the driver's trembling fear. With a malicious grin, Kai leapt nimbly, appearing face to face with him in a flash. I will make him pay for everything he did to me in my past life. Just as Kai was about to touch him, his eyes seemed to be aiming at something. And then he pulled out a gun and pointed it at Kai. A gunshot rang out, accompanied by the image of a bullet slowly flying out of the barrel. But for Kai's strength, it was too slow, he thought. Even though this is just a fake body, but its power was amazing. Without a single scratch, Kai was right next to him. Panicked, he stepped back. Who are you, monster? Kai grabbed his head, lifted it into the air, and threw it away like a cheap toy. The driver Lee was seriously injured after that throw. Kai stepped forward and continued to tell him. You must pay for what you have done. Lee, coughing blood, staggered to his feet, muttering. So his story was true. Kai frowned, puzzled. Lee pulled out a syringe, smirking. Think you are tough, kid, don't act like you have won. He stabbed the needle into his neck. In an instant, he transformed into a monster. Kai swallowed hard. Of course, the organization was researching drugs before the catastrophe. Drugs that create monsters with retained consciousness. His face paled, frozen in shock. Is this it? From a swirling blue vortex, a terrifying creature emerged. Its jagged white armor glinting with blood-red gems. Kai stood rigid, stunned. Wyatt, it was that monster. The massive monster loomed over him and attacked. Kai blocked with his arms. But the force sent him reeling. Damn it. He leapt high. Tendrils lashing out. Too difficult, he thought. The monster roared. Kai, nimble in his smaller form, darted toward it. A sudden flash struck as he let his guard down. His lips twitched in panic. It was a trap from the start. Gritting his teeth, he roared inwardly. Not satisfied until I am dead. His cold eyes locked onto the monster. It unleashed a barrage of spikes. Kai dodged, soaring into the air. The me from my past life and the me now are completely different. His gaze sharpened. I won't let you kill me twice. The monster exploded. Kai, confused, looked toward the source. Minoru aimed at the creature, his expression grim. The big-eyed monster, huh? He loaded a stolen Eastern Union weapon. Perfect time to test this. Muttering, he fired again. The creature screamed in pain. Kai looked up, bewildered. Big-eyed monster. He burst into a gleeful laugh. Lee, no, wait, that is it. Bok Lin spoke coldly. Soon, this world will face catastrophes. Join the organization if you want to survive. A nameplate on her neck read number 10. She placed a strange gift box down. Whispering, she added, just a little charm to reveal your true nature. From the organization, a small gift. Lee eyed the syringe suspiciously. I do not care for this nonsense. But what is my true nature? Do I even know myself? After injecting the drug, he understood. He was born to exploit others' weaknesses. Flashback to a quiet neighborhood. A child shouted, Hey, lady, your husband's cheating, right? The woman screamed, furious. What are you saying? Don't talk nonsense. The kid pointed innocently. It is true, that man's your husband, is not he? Mimicking, he continued. He said you look like a sleeping pig like this. The woman roared, What? She punched her husband's face. You cheated behind my back. He denied it. I did not. Angrily, he snapped, Crazy woman, I am divorcing you. She collapsed, sobbing. I know I am ugly. The child patted her shoulder, smiling innocently. I will show you a better place. There are kind people there, no one will bully you. Lee had used his power to manipulate hearts, draining victims dry. He was becoming a monster, yet his mind remained human. His true nature, a deceiver toying with emotions. A level 4 monster, Deceiver Lee. Back in reality, Kai observed silently. This power creates illusions, showing people their deepest fears. He concluded, random attacks won't work. Calming himself, he thought, I need to wait for the right moment. I will be the one to end him. A cloud of smoke suddenly hid Lee's face. He spun, alert. Who is there? Below, Minoru battled the monster, focused. Lee, irritated, cursed. That damn old man again. Just die. Minoru's face tensed. During the explosion, he would found cover. hiding behind a wooden panel. He raised his gun, aimed, and fired. The bullet struck Lee, who gritted his teeth, eyes blazing with fury. Damn pest! He counterattacked, shouting, "Die!" Smoke and flames filled the air. Lee's body swayed, his mind clouded. He searched the rubble, panicked. "Where's that guy?" A glint flashed, chilling him. Kai emerged from behind, smirking. "Found you." Hearing the familiar voice, Lee bolted. "Damn it," he muttered, confused. How did he escape the illusion so fast? His teeth clenched in rage. Kai taunted, "Just a level 4 monster." Advancing, he sneered, a pathetic worm deceiving others. In his final moment, Kai roared, "Nothing special." A tendril shot out. Lee's eyes widened. As he lunged at Kai, who noticed the tendrils binding his ankle. Those annoying things again. Lee spread his arms, a glow erupting from his chest. But Kai stood unmoved. Lee's face twisted. The illusion did not work. He screamed, "Impossible, die." Kai's voice dripped with sarcasm. "Thanks to you, I remember what it felt like to die in there." Smirking triumphantly, he declared, "All my power go." Lee shielded himself as Kai charged. In the chaos, Kai sped toward him. Lee's body suddenly spewed slime, clutching his wounded shoulder as he staggered. He roared, "You bastard!" Kai's silhouette flickered through the hazy smoke. Looking up, he whispered, "Is this it?" He knew the answer. This was just the beginning. In 2 hours, the next red dust wave will hit the first apocalypse humanity will face, the mutation tide. Kai pressed a sharp tendril against Lee. Panicked, Lee stammered, "Wait." Kai cut him off. "I am not interested in your excuses." Lee gritted his teeth, furious. "Damn you." Without hesitation, Kai moved to end him. Minoru watched silently from behind, noting Kai's cold eyes. He can still attack despite those injuries. Kai decided, "I will finish him by taking his head." He swung his tendril. But Lin appeared, sobbing. "Are you trying to kill me?" Kai laughed. "Trying to use that trick." His eyes widened in shock, as explosions engulfed him, hurling him back. Pain seared through him, and he grimaced. "Trouble." Searching through the smoke, he heard Lee's triumphant laugh. "Too bad, you can't kill me." Kai clenched his teeth in rage. Lee smirked. "If that spike hit me, you would read my heart." His eyes gleamed with interest. "So you knew." Stepping forward, he stared coldly. "Your thoughts, your actions, everything's clear in these eyes. One more hit, and you are done, right?" Kai's teeth ground, despair creeping in. "Damn it," he thought, "I can only rely on the old man now." Minoru fired from behind. Lee turned coldly. Using him, Kai broke into a cold sweat. Useless. A regular gun can't take down a level 4 monster. Lee laughed gleefully. "I can even see where he is hiding." Advancing toward Minoru, he boasted. "I am the Lord, or not I, you are right here." A sudden unease gripped Lee. He searched frantically. The old man's not here. His eyes caught a corner. Smoke erupted, and an explosion rocked the space. Lee shielded himself as Kai watched, stunned. "A grenade." Lee clutched his head, groaning. Kai grinned, thrilled. "That old man's quick." He paused. "Wait, where is he?" Minoru, gripping a dagger, charged Lee, aiming for his neck. Lee dodged the fatal strike, cursing, "Bastard." He roared, "Die," but Kai shouted, "Hey, Lee." Lee spun, confused. "How do you know that name?" Kai smirked. "Want to know your future?" Lee screamed, "What?" As his guard dropped, Minoru fired. The bullet pierced Lee, who groaned, "Damn traitor." Minoru kept his aim steady. Lee clutched his head in agony. "What the hell is this?" Voices echoed in his mind. "Why must I endure this trash?" They grew louder. "No matter how hard you try, you will always." Kai mocked, "Just a loser." Smirking faintly, he said, "This is your future. How's it feel?" Lee writhed in pain. "Stop, this is my future, number." He recalled kneeling before others. Desperate, he screamed. "That future won't happen." His face twisted in panic. "What now?" The sky exploded, severing his arm. Lee howled in agony. Minoru seized the moment, charging. Instinctively looking up, he saw Lee's body disintegrate into pieces. Lee groaned, "Impossible." Kai approached the mangled corpse. "I do not care about your future." His lips curled. "Looks like you are the one who got deceived this time." Lee's severed head rolled, his face frozen in disbelief. "What the hell is this?" Memories flooded back. What am I seeing? A monster's sharp claws dangled him in the air. He trembled before the grotesque creature. A searing pain snapped him back to reality as Kai slammed his head to the ground. Lee screamed in agony, thinking, that attack was fatal. I can't take this anymore. I need to escape. Realization hit him. So this is what they warned about. His head, lying on the ground, rasped, they told me to watch out for the kid. Minoru turned to Kai, eyes narrowed with suspicion. The kid. Lee's sinister grin widened. You are the Calamity. Kai froze. Calamity. Lee's voice grew frantic. You started it all. You threw away your peaceful life. The organization will hunt you down. A blast obliterated him. Kai and Minoru stared, stunned. A sniper had fired from the shadows. You can kill the man, but not the. From the thick smoke. An armored tank rolled in. A masked figure stepped out, slinging a rifle over his shoulder. Standing tall, he declared, you will become your own enemy. Kai, in his child form, realized, the military showing up here is bad news. Minoru sensed something off. A voice called, Teacher. The masked man removed his mask, smirking. You told me this, did not you, Captain Snow Wolf Lion? A monster appeared behind him, lunging with its jaws. Before it could strike, it exploded. Lion grinned triumphantly. Kai, peeking from a corner, marveled. He did not even flinch. Minoru's voice hardened. Lion, why are you here? I told you I am looking for my granddaughter. Lion approached, replying, Teacher, we are in a state of emergency. Please return. He pulled an object from his pocket, holding it before Minoru. Your granddaughter's safe. We are protecting her. The military needs a commander to lead them. Minoru recognized the item, confirming his granddaughter's safety. Kai, hiding, watched closely. Returned to lead the military. His eyes widened. He is the old man who once led them. Lion spoke again. Want to confirm your granddaughter's safety? Minoru paused, then sighed. Do what you want. Let us go. Kai panicked. What do I do now? As he fumbled, he tripped, collapsing. Damn it. The noise drew Minoru's attention. A bullet whizzed by. Kai, in his child form, froze in terror. Lion's footsteps closed in. His gun aimed at Kai. Smirking, he said, a kid, I thought I saw a monster earlier. His finger hovered over the trigger. Is it you? Kai's eyes widened in fear. This bastard's going to shoot without checking. Minoru stepped in, blocking the barrel. Lion, wait, I left this kid here on purpose. Lion hesitated. Is that so? Minoru scooped Kai up, his voice soothing. You did well, good kid. Then, his tone shifted sharply. Listen, kid, keep playing dumb until the end. Kai burst into tears. Lion chuckled, teasing, you two get along well, huh, teacher? Turning to Kai, he grinned. Want to come with us, kid? Kai eyed Lion warily, suspicion gnawing at him. Something's off about this guy. Then it hit him. Wait, that face, I have seen it in the organization.